My name is Lauren Pierce, and for most of my life, I believed being a good daughter meant never saying no. My mother, Diane, had a knack for turning every favor into an obligation, every sacrifice into something I owed her. She didn't yell or demand outright. Instead, she sighed, guilt-tripped, and painted herself as the victim until I gave in. When I got my first job, she said I should help with groceries. After a promotion, she suggested I could afford my brother Ethan's college books. When I moved out, she cried about feeling abandoned and hinted I should cover her car payments. I was always the fixer, the responsible one, while my dad, Mark, stayed silent, nodding along to her narrative of family helps family before retreating behind a newspaper. Ethan, the golden child, got praise and freedom, while my role was to support, never to shine. There were moments I questioned it, like when she opened a store credit card in my name, claiming it was for emergencies, or when I couldn't send money for a new washer, and she told relatives I was ungrateful. But I stayed quiet, convincing myself I was being dramatic, that I owed her. That's the thing about manipulation. It doesn't scream. It whispers, making you doubt your instincts until you realize you've been robbed in countless small ways. You let it happen because you think that's what love looks like. When Mom proposed a family vacation to Florida, my stomach knotted. She pitched it as a bonding opportunity, sunshine, beach, family dinners. But I knew what she meant. I was paying. I wanted to say no, but I could already hear the backlash, guilt trips, texts to Dad and Ethan, accusations of selfishness. So I agreed, but with conditions. I'd book my own flight and hotel, separate from theirs, with no access to my money. She pouted, whined, said, "We're family, why complicate things?" But I held firm, repeating my terms without apology. She pretended to drop it, but I knew her silence was a setup. A week before the trip, I called my bank. I explained the years of emotional manipulation, the unauthorized charges, the pressure. The representative was understanding and efficient. We set up location-based transaction locks. Any charges outside my current location would be denied unless I approved them via my app. I also lowered my daily spending limit to $1, rendering my card useless to anyone else. It wasn't paranoia, it was protection. I knew she'd try something, and I was ready. We landed in Florida, the air sticky and my nerves on edge. At baggage claim, I saw her calculating look before I even turned around. Without a word, she snatched my purse from my shoulder. "We'll be using your credit card for this trip," she declared, clutching it like a trophy, her smug smile screaming victory. I didn't flinch. Instead, I smiled, a calm, confident smile that unsettled her. I opened my banking app and showed her the screen. "Then you'll love this message from the bank," I said. She squinted, reading, transaction declined, unusual location, limit exceeded. Her face paled, knuckles widening around my purse. "What did you do?" she snapped. I shrugged. "Bank security. They thought charges in a new city were odd, so they froze it." "Fix it," she hissed. But I didn't move. This was the moment I'd waited for, the moment I stopped letting guilt control me. Her anger masked fear. She wasn't in charge anymore. I took my purse back, and she stood there, stunned, as I walked away. The next morning, fists pounded my hotel door. Angry, desperate. It was Mom, still in yesterday's clothes, shoving a crumpled paper through the gap. "The front desk says our card was declined. We can't check in." "Fix it." I stared at her. "You didn't prepay?" She scoffed. "Why would we? We were using your card, obviously." I handed the paper back. "Sounds like a you problem." She lost it, screaming I was selfish, ungrateful, abandoning family. But her words didn't stick. I felt free. I closed the door in her face. She yelled for a while, then went quiet, or so I thought. An hour later, a softer knock. Hotel security. "Miss Pierce, your parents claim you stole their money and left them stranded." I laughed. "They're lying. I booked and paid for my room myself."